We are not done. This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly.
I came here today just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
Let's be real. When you think of the Combs twins, Jesse and Delilah, you probably picture their glamorous posts on Instagram, matching outfits, luxury yachts, and carefree smiles in sunny ski parks. The media has been eating it up, calling them the picture of elegance and relaxation as they enter adulthood. But what if this glittering facade is just that, a facade? What if the real story isn't about sunbathing on Caribbean beaches, but something far more shocking, far more sinister? Buckle up, because what's happening behind the scenes could change everything you thought you knew about Sean Diddy Combs and his family.
Yeah, but so there's still, it's crazy too, because there's still more happening in court. Everything is still active, even though we're not hearing about it as much anymore. And the people may be fatigued, like we talked about prior to.
The twins, who recently turned 18, are no strangers to the spotlight. It's almost as if they were born into it, raised under the looming shadow of their father's empire of music, fashion, and fame. For years, their social media accounts have been a curated highlight reel of luxury, designer dresses, exclusive parties, and vacations that most of us can only dream about. Just last week, they were photographed in matching peach-colored swimwear, lounging on the beaches of St. Bart's with a friend. Their hair was styled in neatly plaited braids, their youthful energy practically glowing through the camera lens. They looked carefree, unbothered by anything, as if their world was one of pure privilege.
What his team is trying to do is get the public to assume that the government is leaking some of this negative information about him, like that Cassie video. But the reality is, he's got a lot of enemies, and I really don't.
But behind those carefully posed Instagram moments, something was brewing, a story that's been whispered in hushed tones by insiders and hinted at in cryptic posts online. Because here's the thing, the twins didn't just jet off to Sparks for a little R&R. If the rumors are true, they've run away. Yes, you heard that right. Word on the street is that Jesse and Delilah have distanced themselves from their father's chaos, and not just in a metaphorical sense. According to insider chatter, the girls have sought help from the FBI, turning their backs on their father and perhaps even their brothers. And the reason? Well, some say it has to do with secrets they've uncovered, secrets that could blow the lid off the carefully constructed narrative of Diddy's life.
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse, sexual assault, and rape at the hands of Diddy.
Let's rewind for a second. The Combs family has been through a whirlwind of drama lately, much of it centered around their father's mounting legal troubles. Sean Diddy Combs, once the king of hip-hop, and a cultural icon, is now sitting in a federal detention center awaiting trial. The charges against him are nothing short of explosive, and his family has tried to present a united front in the face of public scrutiny. But cracks have started to show. Diddy's eldest children, Quincy, Justin, and Christian, seem to have taken on more prominent roles in defending their father, while the twins have noticeably stepped back. And while the official story paints them as supportive daughters enjoying a break from the chaos, whispers suggest otherwise. Whispers suggest they've had enough. It's no secret that the Combs twins were close to their mother, Kim Porter, who tragically passed away in 2018. Kim was a beacon of grace and strength, someone who balanced the chaos of Diddy's world with a quiet dignity. But her demise left a void, one that her daughters have felt deeply. For years, they've been seen as the legacy of their mother, two young women growing into their own while carrying the memory of Kim with them. But now, rumors are swirling that Jesse and Delilah have started to question the official narrative surrounding their mother's passing, and that this has driven a wedge between them and their father.
You said we are not done and that Combs did not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
Speculation has been rampant that the twins have uncovered information linking Diddy to events surrounding Kim's untimely passing. The whispers suggest that they've been quietly gathering evidence, piecing together a puzzle that connects their father to a series of incidents that were once dismissed as mere coincidence. And when the time came to act, they didn't turn to family. They turned to the authorities. If true, this would mark a dramatic shift in the Combs family dynamic, one that could have far-reaching implications. But here's where things get even more bizarre. While the twins have reportedly been cooperating with the FBI, their public image has remained pristine. Their Instagram account, Combs Twins, continues to post polished photos and cheerful captions as if nothing is amiss. On New Year's Day, they shared a photo of themselves on a luxury yacht dressed in matching silver sequined outfits with the caption, "2025 is our year." The post quickly racked up thousands of likes and comments, with fans praising their style and grace. But for those in the know, the post raised eyebrows. Were they really enjoying a carefree new year? Or was this part of a larger strategy to keep up appearances while they worked behind the scenes to unravel their father's secrets?
Hey, real quickly, all that commissary stuff, he's not getting any of that because people in the shoe have an abbreviated list. So he's out of luck. No stake for him. Yeah, he is on suicide watch. This guy thought he would have went home. All of a sudden, he didn't get bond. Remember, the first night that he was there.
And let's not forget Diddy's press team. Known for their ability to spin even the most damaging stories into fluff pieces, they've been hard at work painting the twins as loyal daughters simply enjoying their youth. But the truth, according to insiders, is far more complicated. It's been suggested that the St. Bart's trip itself was orchestrated by Diddy's team, a calculated move to divert attention from the twins' growing estrangement from their father. The matching outfits, the beachside photo shoots, it all feels a little too perfect, a little too staged. And when you dig a little deeper, the cracks in the facade start to show.
And I understand that he has a shrink coming by his cell to see him several times a day. And now there's talk about putting him in, it's like a bubble. It's like a cell that has like a plexiglass wall in it where they have inmates watching you. That's actually their job, to keep an eye on the inmates that are on suicide watch.
For instance, sources close to the family have pointed out that the twins' interactions with their brothers have become increasingly distant. While Christian, Justin, and Quincy have been vocal in their support of their father, the twins have remained conspicuously silent. In fact, there are whispers that they've cut off communication with their older siblings entirely, choosing instead to focus on their own plans for the future. And let's not forget the cryptic posts that have appeared on their Instagram stories, posts that seem to hint at a deeper struggle. These posts might seem innocuous at first glance, but for those paying attention, they tell a different story. A story of two young women grappling with the weight of their family's legacy and the secrets that have been buried for years. And while the twins have yet to speak out publicly, their actions speak volumes. Their decision to distance themselves from their father and, allegedly, to cooperate with federal authorities suggests a level of courage and determination that few could muster. So, what now? The Combs twins have set themselves on a path that could redefine not only their own lives, but also the legacy of their father. As they navigate this new chapter, one thing is clear: the world is watching. And while the official narrative paints them as carefree teenagers enjoying a luxurious vacation, the reality is far more complex. They are young women on a mission, driven by a desire for justice and a need to uncover the truth.
Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff.
And the truth, well, that's where things get even murkier, because the twins' cooperation with the FBI is just the tip of the iceberg. Behind the scenes, a storm is brewing, one that could expose not only the secrets of the Combs family, but also the dark underbelly of an industry that has long thrived on power and silence. As the twins step into the spotlight, not as Diddy's daughters, but as individuals with their own voices, the stakes have never been higher.
I think it's to be expected, just the shock of this and the questions about what is ahead of us. I mean, how long is he going to be in custody? Is this an R. Kelly situation? Is he going to not get out for a number of years? Is he going to end up serving a long-term prison sentence from this? Or does he have a chance of beating these charges at a trial that could come?
What happens next is anyone's guess. Will the twins continue to play along with the facade, posting glamorous photos and tearful captions while working behind the scenes to uncover the truth? Or will they break their silence, shattering the illusion and revealing the full extent of their father's alleged actions? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. And as the world waits for the next chapter to unfold, the Combs twins find themselves at the center of a storm that could change everything. Now, as we move forward, we'll dive deeper into the whirlwind of conspiracy theories surrounding Sean Diddy Combs, from the whispers about his infamous parties to the allegations that tie him to some of the darkest chapters in hip-hop history. The web of intrigue only grows thicker. What if everything you think you know about Sean Diddy Combs is just smoke and mirrors? Let's dive even deeper into the tangled web of secrets, whispers, and scandals that have haunted his empire for decades. This isn't just about the Combs twins anymore. This is about an empire built on power plays and the kind of behind-the-scenes stories that make you question everything.
There's also strategic reasons for the prosecutors to want him to have co-defendants, because right now he hasn't waived his right to a speedy trial, which would force prosecutors to take him to trial pretty quick, which they actually might not be ready to do. But if they supersede him and have co-defendants with him, it makes it a lot easier to pursue a trial continuance without him waiving his speedy trial right.
For years, Diddy has been one of the most influential figures in entertainment. He's been celebrated as a mogul, a trendsetter, and a pioneer who brought hip-hop into the mainstream. But some argue that the glitz and glamour have always masked something darker. Rumors have swirled for decades about the lengths Diddy allegedly went to in order to maintain his empire. And now, with the recent allegations and investigations, these whispers are rising to a deafening roar. Let's start with the legendary East Coast-West Coast rivalry that dominated the 90s. The feud between Bad Boy Records and Death Row Records wasn't just a battle for musical supremacy. It was a cultural war that shaped the narrative of hip-hop for years. On one side, you had Diddy and the Notorious B.I.G. representing New York and East Coast rap. On the other side, there was Suge Knight and Shakur flying the flag for the West Coast. What started as a clash of styles and personalities quickly spiraled into something far more sinister.
Right. Well, Kim Porter, that is Diddy's ex, who's also the mother of his 3 of his children.
Right.
Has detailed the alleged abuse that she suffered at his hands.
Shakur's infamous 1994 incident at Quad Studios in Manhattan is still a flashpoint. Shot multiple times in an ambush, Shakur walked away from that night convinced it wasn't random. He pointed fingers at Biggie and Diddy, claiming they knew more than they let on. In interviews, Shakur described seeing Diddy and others in the studio acting suspiciously calm, as though they'd been expecting something to happen. Whether or not those accusations were rooted in truth, they added fuel to the fire of an already smoldering feud. Fast forward to 1996, when Shakur was gunned down in Las Vegas. The tragedy shook the world, but it didn't stop there. Just 6 months later, Biggie met a similar fate in Los Angeles. The demises of these two icons have remained unsolved for decades, but Diddy's name has never been far from the conversation. Over the years, theories have emerged that paint him as a puppet master orchestrating events behind the scenes. Some say he was protecting his empire at all costs. Others claim he was simply caught in the crossfire of a dangerous rivalry. Either way, the shadow of these events continues to loom large.
Man, this timeline is crazy, man.
I know. So many things coming at one time.
And then there are the infamous gatherings that have become the stuff of legend and controversy. Diddy was known for throwing lavish parties that attracted celebrities, politicians, and industry elites. These weren't your average Hollywood get-togethers. They were extravagant spectacles marked by an air of exclusivity and mystery. But now, as allegations against Diddy pile up, these events are being re-examined under a much darker lens. Insiders have described these gatherings as more than just parties. They were grand productions, meticulously planned and executed with military precision. Guests were flown in from all over the world, accommodations were arranged, and every detail was taken care of to ensure a seamless experience. But according to some whispers, there was always a catch. It said that the most exclusive part of these nights, the after-hours portion, was where the real secrets were kept.
And it's like, it was the same thing Kim was going through. The same thing, bro. Kim was going through the same thing. The beatings, you know what I'm saying?
The late-night sessions reportedly involved a very select group of attendees. Guests were sworn to secrecy, and security was tight, ensuring no uninvited eyes witnessed what went down. And now, with the ongoing investigations, rumors suggest that footage from these nights exists, damning evidence of what really happened behind closed doors. Allegedly, these properties were outfitted with head and recording devices, capturing every moment. If true, this would explain why so many high-profile figures are now rumored to be scrambling to keep their names out of the spotlight. The idea of recordings has sparked a frenzy among celebrity circles. Insiders claim that certain listers are desperately trying to buy back footage that could implicate them in compromising situations. Lawyers, agents, and publicists are said to be working overtime to ensure their clients' reputations remain intact. Even Dana Baldwin, a name you wouldn't normally associate with Diddy, has spoken out claiming there's a bidding war for these tapes. According to him, the stakes are sky high because the footage could ruin careers, destroy legacies, and send shockwaves through the entertainment industry.
Well, he get the trafficking because he took her to different states and had her perform acts with different, male and different people, sometimes against her will.
But let's not forget the bigger picture. These tapes, if they exist, are just one piece of a much larger puzzle. They represent the lengths to which powerful people will go to protect their secrets, and the systems that enable them to do so. Diddy, for all his success, has always been a polarizing figure. To some, he's a genius. To others, he's a manipulative operator who uses his charm and influence as a smokescreen. The truth, as always, is likely somewhere in between. And then there's the question of how so many people stayed silent for so long. How does someone maintain this level of power and control without facing consequences? The answer lies in the culture of fear and loyalty that surrounds figures like Diddy. Insiders have described him as incredibly charismatic, but also deeply intimidating. He's a man who knows how to command a room, how to make people feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves. But that kind of influence comes with a dark side. It's said that those who crossed him often found themselves blacklisted, their careers derailed, their reputations tarnished, and for those who stayed loyal, well, loyalty always comes at a price.
Do I think every man possibly is capable. I think he's very capable of doing it. It's in his character. That's who he is. That's what comes with power. That's what comes with arrogance. That's what comes with, what makes him, power. That's just the selfishness that make you be like that.
This culture of silence extends beyond Diddy's inner circle. It's woven into the fabric of the entertainment industry itself. The world of music, film, and fashion thrives on connections, and those who rock the boat risk losing everything. It's a system that rewards complicity and punishes dissent. And for years, Diddy was one of its most powerful players. But now, the tide is turning. The ongoing investigations have opened the floodgates, and more people are coming forward with their stories. Former employees, industry insiders, and even ex-friends are speaking out, shedding light on the darker aspects of Diddy's empire. Their accounts paint a picture of a man who was willing to cross any line to protect his legacy. And while Diddy continues to deny all allegations, the sheer volume of claims against him is impossible to ignore. As the legal battles unfold, the question on everyone's mind is, what happens next? Will Diddy finally face accountability for his actions, or will his influence and resources allow him to weather the storm? And what about the others who were allegedly involved? The investigations have already implicated several high-profile figures, and the fallout could be far-reaching. This isn't just about one man. It's about an entire system that allowed him to thrive.
Put their hands on women really is men who have feminine traits. So, it really takes a coward to put his hands on a woman. So, a man is so strong enough, we can just walk away. You can do, it's so many different things that you can do other than get upset, put your hands on a woman. But that comes from a man who's not quite a grown man.
And then, of course, there's the Combs family. The twins have found themselves at the center of a media frenzy, their every move scrutinized and analyzed. But while their public image remains polished, their actions suggest a much deeper conflict. Their rumored cooperation with the FBI could be the key that unlocks the entire case, but it also puts them in a precarious position. By turning on their father, they risk alienating themselves from their family and the industry they grew up in. It's a bold move, one that speaks to their determination to forge their own path. As the pieces of this puzzle come together, one thing is clear. The story of Diddy Combs is far from over. The allegations, the investigations, the whispers of conspiracy, they all point to a reckoning that's been years in the making. And while the truth remains elusive, the cracks in Diddy empire are becoming harder to ignore. So, what's the real story here? Is Diddy a mastermind who built his empire on manipulation and control? Or is he a victim of his own success, caught in a web of rumors and accusations? And what about the tapes? If they exist, what could they reveal? Most importantly, how will all of this impact the legacy of not just Diddy, but the entire hip-hop industry? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay tuned